A little test here. We're going to test this system again. I just want to see how the system works. As I told you, the best way to explain what I'm doing here is you might say all my friends have been on candid camera, because anything they said to me can now be held against them. They might see what they said on national TV. Okay, I was talking to you a little about Puerto Rico. I was telling you what a nice life it is here. One of the good things that I liked about Puerto Rico was you could get cheap help here. I mean, we had kids when we were young and we needed a sleeping maid. And a sleeping maid didn't cost that much here because we had ladies from the islands would come here and they would work cheap. I remember we hired a black woman from one of these islands. I don't remember, it might have been Antigua, maybe it was Nevis, who knows. Anyway, I remember the first night, it was interesting. My wife and I had to go out to dinner and the lady had just started to work for her. And my wife says to the lady, listen, miss, help yourself to the refrigerator. There's food there, there's cheese, there's eggs, there's some sardines, there's some tuna fish. Help yourself to anything you want. And the lady says, oh no, 1 minute, ma'am. I need a little bit of flesh. A little bit of flesh. And we went out that night, and I tell you, the whole night we were worried, you know. Can we trust that lady with our daughter? She eats flesh. Maybe she can eat up her daughter. Maybe she's a cannibal. Who knows? Oh my gosh, you know. Woo. Anyway, we got there. My daughter was alive, so I guess everything worked out okay. Talking more about Puerto Rico, you know, like I say, I don't get script written for me. I tell you from my heart. I tell you what went on in my life. I remember I was helping my wife out. She's a psychologist in Puerto Rico. And you know, as she's in her office, I was in the waiting room, and patient, someone knocks on the door and he says to me, gee, I want to see the doctor. I have to see the doctor. It's very important. And I says, well, what is it? Because she's busy. She's got someone in there. Well, maybe I can help you. What's your problem? He says, well, I have a problem. You see, how can I put it? He says, well, nobody can see me. Nobody can. Well, what I mean is I'm invisible. Did you ever hear of an invisible person? Nobody can see me. I'm invisible. Oh, nobody can see you? You sure? Yes, absolutely, sir. Nobody can see me. I said, all right, well, wait here a minute. I'm going to talk to my wife and see when she can see you and if she can see you. Knock on the door. I tell my wife, listen, there's some nut outside. He claims that he's invisible. He says that nobody can see him. My wife says, you say he's invisible? He's nuts? Yeah, he must be nuts. He thinks nobody can see him. He says, well, if he's invisible, the best thing is tell him I can't see him. He's invisible. Yeah. Another time, you know, I was helping my wife shred her documents. You know, we were looking to get out of Puerto Rico, and there are laws, psychologists have to keep the documents for 7 years. So I was going through all her papers, picking out the ones that were 7 years old to shred. And I see she's got loads and loads of children she took care of, and they all draw these pictures of dogs, pictures of women, pictures of men, pictures of houses, you know, all pictures of trees. They're drawing millions of pictures. And my wife looks at me and says, well, why are you looking so funny at those files? I says, well, I'm looking at the pictures. I said, you have a lot of children. She says, yeah, so? I said, well, to me it's disturbing. Disturbing in what way? Well, I mean, it costs their parents a lot of money to send a child to see a psychologist. And these children, instead of taking advantage of I see they were sitting here drawing pictures. Well, look, this is enough. I want to test if this video is working, okay?